Well, the video got pretty good recognition from it, so I thought I'd continue. Um, Anyways, if you're new, my name is Jackson, also known as Call Me Blaze. Um, I wanted to start off this series with talking about myself. And after I posted on TikTok and the comments from the YouTube video, it seemed to do pretty well. So I thought I'd continue. One of the comments addressed it. I talk about my future, and I never really had uh, a very forward-looking future. Um, I mainly stuck to one career. I wanted to be a marine biologist for a very long time. It wasn't until a bit recently I started to push away from more of the idea. Um, that would require a lot of my time, and I feel like the effort put into it uh, wouldn't relate to me just being happy with it. I would, but I wouldn't feel good about it myself. As for now, though, um, my plans are to just graduate high school. As for that is something I'm about to do uh, in soon. Um, about a month or so from now, and maybe start looking at colleges. Um, but apart from that, um, I wouldn't say it's nothing too interesting. But however, I mainly wanted to talk about other topics, maybe. One topic I wanted to talk about was just relationships with people, because I've never had the most uh, forward relationships. I've had quite a lot of friends in my time, but a lot of them have been passing, and luckily now I have a small group of good friends, which I'm happy about. But you know, as of now, I'm more just for what it leads to about meeting people in public, and it feels that school is a very good place to have a social ground for me. It I'm not very good socially in public, but I feel like school is the easiest way to do that, and um, I feel that now that it's going away, um, it'll be hard for me to do such thing. However, for relationships, though, um, I've had maybe one actual relationship with uh, a person. Um, I won't say her name, but it was nice at first. It was something new. I've always really spent a lot of my time, a lot of my life, just moving from person to person, just trying to see if people would like me, and it was hard to make friends. Um, but I found uh, this lady in my biology class, and she seemed nice at the time. We had good music taste, which was the main connection that we both had at first. Was just a good sense of uh, taste in music. I talked about it, and it was I didn't really know what to do, so I asked for her Instagram to see if I don't know I could learn more about her, and it was something. And it took about I'd say a month or two to finally start talking to her, and it was nice for the most part. It went throughout the school year, and it was just nice. You know, I think the main problem though I had now looking at it is just my lack of, I want to say, experience maybe. I I didn't know what I was doing, and I feel like in some ways that would have been my fault, even though that wouldn't make sense, but I feel that is for some of the reasons why she left me. And after she left me, it was hard because it was out of the blue, and I later learned reasons why, and it was reasons that I personally didn't believe made sense, and honestly, I wouldn't believe that she would even say something like that. But I, as of now, it's hard to move on from it. I've gotten better, but seeing her in school still now, it doesn't help, which is kind of the good reason why I'm leaving. It was more just like it was new. I've never gotten to have a feeling like this before, and for so long I would have people leave me, and I finally felt like I had something stable, something that was gonna stay there, and hopefully be with me. Which, in some ways, I feel I would have a better hope for my future if I had someone next to me when doing stuff. Because I feel like I need to have a reason for doing things. I feel like I need to do something for someone. I feel like I've gotten to a point where I've been so alone to the point where I feel that it like personally, like I feel if I'm not doing something for someone else, then what's the point of doing it? And it's a horrible mindset to have, but in some ways I feel self-aware to it, but at the same time, it's how else would I do to make myself feel better about it? So I put my mindset into that. It's not good, but apart from relationships, though, I've had a decent amount of friend groups. Back in early elementary, I had a small friend group, and it was one of the few times I really got to bike around to see them. And at the time, it was very different to me because the friend I had, she was definitely she was going through mental problems, and I would hang out with her, and I would see like self-harm cuts on her legs, and at the time I was confused by it almost. I didn't know what to think of it. I had an understanding, but I didn't feel it it made sense. So, and after that there was complications with other girls, and soon enough I let go of them. I felt like I was being used in some ways, like I was only their friend to be someone there to talk to and nothing else. And I didn't like that. I wanted to be someone's friend. I wanted to do stuff with people, and I never got the chance to do that. At least not a lot. When I was in my one relationship with the girl, we went out to one restaurant, and I'm pretty sure it was the first restaurant I've ever been out with a friend. And I feel it in some ways it's not fair because I feel like I missed out on so much for my life. Um, and I feel like I only have myself to blame for that. And I feel that's the only way to do it because if I blame someone else for my problems that I've caused, where I push people back, then that all I'm doing is harming myself. And so and yeah, I I don't really know what to say. Um, it's just I feel that like a lot of my problems come from my inability to accept people, and I feel like I've been through so many relationships and broken friendships and broken promises that I feel almost like traumatized to it, where it's like I almost have to like not be myself in any sort of place to be myself. I have to I have to do something for other people, and in the end, I feel like I do that to myself as well. But what do I do? Um, I feel like friends though is probably the most complicating thing about my life. I had, at least into this late school year, I had a friend group, and it's diminished from because it was originally just the girl I had a relationship with and the friend with the other girl, and it kind of just feels like nothing. It's almost awkward to even have it. I mean, I don't talk to one of them, but it's almost like this chain where we're both on one side and the friend's in the center. But I mainly stopped being with the other girl in the friendship because she never really took a side, and I feel like that wasn't fair to me because in most cases she would hang out with my girlfriend beforehand, and I didn't feel like I was right because I feel like I would go to her to advice even beforehand about just what to do, and I feel like she acts like nothing happened, and I feel like so much happened. I feel like a lot of things happen, and it's not fair to just simply walk past that because a lot of things happened. Um, as for the friend, though, I plan to just continue talking with her after I graduate. Um, I do have one friend though. Luckily, I talked to after I broke up, and I'm glad I know him. He graduated though. He was also a person who did that, but we still keep in contact, thankfully. I apart from that though, I have two close online friends I hang out with. Um, it's not more. We don't play a lot of games anymore. I feel like that's just gone to the point though of where we are in life. Mainly, them being one of them being busy with college and one of them being busy with their uh, their sports part of their career or their college high school life. But I feel like in most cases though, it still hurts because I even though I feel like I'm in a good place where I have friends, I still feel alone. And it's not more of like they don't talk to me. It's more of just I miss the connection I once had with them. But there's not much else I can do about it. I feel like it wouldn't be fair to put them in a scenario where they would have to feel bad for me because they shouldn't. That's not their problem. The one thing I am glad about though, that's close to my life is my family. I've always had my family. I've had my older sister and my other brother. I don't talk to my younger brother that much, but I'm glad I have my older sister. And of course my parents. I feel like though, just once I get out of this habit though, I feel like I'll be better about it. I feel though as if this platform that able to make me that I have the ability to make videos for people are able to watch them. It brings me some comfort, I can say, for the just knowing the fact that some people can just where not that people can understand, because I feel like it wouldn't be not only that hard, but I feel like it's not fair to just feel like you would understand somebody for what you've been through, but more just I like to put my pain into a different meaning where people can, like a form of art. I want people to understand that the reason why I make these videos is to not only have myself sort of like a way that I can like keep myself together almost, but to just feel that that just to have a net, essentially. I can keep myself afloat and knowing that I can keep making videos. And it's a passion almost. It's definitely what I thought about for a career, video editing. But for what I do, I don't know how I can make it into a career. But I've definitely, for the past couple of years that I've been doing it, it's been something. I started it back after a vacation I had. I think it was early middle school or late middle school. It started off as something I saw videos of, and it wasn't really videos at first. It was a lot of photos and these sort of almost like depressing videos, or just photos of like slides, essentially slideshows. I'm pretty sure that's what everyone called it. And I did do it for a while, but I never felt that. As time went, I felt it was a lazy way of doing it, and I felt like I was doing it just out of the spite that I felt like I wanted to just be sad, and I still feel sad. I feel that I'm allowed to feel that, but I didn't want to make that. I didn't want to make videos just to force myself to be sad. I wanted to be a reason. So then I started doing videos, and they got more and more intricate, I guess would be the good word to do it. And I kept doing it for a while. I've had multiple. I've had one account that actually. It's why I have the 2 lols in my username, at least in my official username. I got too many strikes at one point, and after a moment, they stopped. So then I had to make a new account, which I was angry at the time, especially at the time that I had 8,000 followers, which now looking at it, I didn't really care about the follower count, at least now. It was just more of the fact that I was worried that people weren't going to be able to, the people that did go to my videos weren't be able to find me again. And I hope most did. I feel like a lot of people come to me for reassurance, and you know, I feel like I'm almost obligated to give them that reassurance. But it's also not troublesome. I've done video editing for years now, and most of the time it's more just the more difficult thing about it is often trying to feel that the video I'm making is good enough in my taste. There's problems here and there with the actual like video itself not being well suited for TikTok, or the song limit not being enough or being too much. But most of the time I feel is if the video is good enough. And thankfully though, it half the time is. I tend to get a good idea, but yeah. I never really showed off my account that much for a while. I remember when my first account was made, my mother told me off about it. She didn't like the way I was acting online, and like of course I didn't listen to her, but I usually did listen to my parents. I had much respect for them, but that was one of the few things I didn't want them to know about, so I did that in secret. And then after I went to Inpatient, I told them about that more, about the account, and how it was more of a way to set myself, like set grounding for myself. You know, and I don't feel my mother understood it that much, which I was fine with. My dad, though, I felt he had a better understanding of what I was trying to talk about, which I'm glad. But for the most part, I simply do videos to. It's almost a cope for myself. They've always been something for me, something that I wanted to do that would help me. Was the main reason why I did videos. I wanted to put how I was feeling into a format that would not make sense to say, but would have thought and reason of why I was feeling these ways. And I always felt like that was something I wanted to do for myself, was to have reasons of understanding of why I was feeling such. But it turned out to be something big, and I wouldn't come to me for any advice on to be technical about anything. All I could say was I could say commitment to doing something. As long as you like doing it, just keep doing it. Anything that you want to do, that you want to take into advances, is just time. And that's sometimes all you can do. No matter if you're not good at it or if you're learning it, all you need to do is just put in the time. But in the end, I'm glad that so many people have seen what I've felt and how I output it out to the public, into media forums, and how people understand it. And it makes me at least somewhat happy that at least some people can. They don't have to relate to me by any means, but at least just have an understanding, like almost like an art gallery, is how I've always wanted it to be pictured. Something that you look at and you personally state how it feels to yourself. Because I understand how it feels to me, but I want it to be how it makes you feel. But either way, I think this is a good time to stop this. To the widespread of feedback that I've gotten, I will probably make one soon again. Most likely I'll make one this weekend, due to the time that I have. But I appreciate everyone who had a positive look on it, and I will continue doing this again, so thank you.